A good Erev Shabbos, everyone. This Shabbos, Shabbos Breishis, is really the very beginning of the year. It's not just Parshas Breishis, but we actually call this Shabbos Breishis, because it's the Shabbos of the beginning. Everything is unfolding. Everything is re-beginning. We know that every Parsha really has roots inside of every one of us, where our souls are connected to the Parsha. And what we need to know, and what we need to live, and we need to for our existence is found inside of the Parsha. In Parshas Breishis, all the foundations are there. We know that the letters are the building blocks of creation. We know that the words are the building blocks of our lives. We know that the psukim in the Torah, the verses in the Torah, not only teach us messages, but they're connected to our very souls and our very existence. And that's what's happening this Shabbos. The Shabbos, our soul, is being reignited. It's starting over again. It's the beginning of our year. We've cleansed ourselves. We've put things in the past. We've started living afresh. We've rejoiced with the Torah. Now we're ready to live that Torah. In every single section of this week's Parsha, in every single pasuk in this week's Parsha, in every single word in this week's Parsha, there is a message for us to set our foundations for the year. When we learn the Parsha, we learn not only the story of the Parsha, but we learn the meaning of the things behind the stories. The first days of creations, before the human being was created, everything that was created was setting the foundation and setting up the world in order to be ready to receive man. And therefore, if we look carefully, in every single twist and turn of creation, we will find a message that makes our world ready to be able to receive us. And something that we have to rely on, something we have to lean on, something we have to incorporate into our very foundations. There are hundreds upon hundreds, thousands of messages like this embedded in the Parsha. I just want to point out one small little thing. That on the fourth day of creation, when God was creating the orbs and the universe and the planets and all of that in the skies, the Torah tells us that God made the two Ma'iris HaGedolim, the two big orbs, the bigger one to rule during the day, the smaller one to rule during the night, and the stars. The whole solar system, the sun, the moon, and then the stars that were there also. What's fascinating, a small nuance, is that it says that the sun is called the Me'or HaGadol. The moon is called the Me'or HaKatan, because the one is a reflection of the other. But the Kochavim are also reflections. They're also reflective of light. They also share light. Yet, that's not mentioned at all in the Torah. In the Torah, they're called Kochavim. They're called stars. Why is it only the sun and the moon that get the Me'or HaKaton and the Me'or HaGadol? Why don't the Kochavim also get the epitaph Me'or, the description Me'or? They are also Me'oros. They're also lights in the sky. We can see many of them from Earth. So why is it that they're not called Me'oros? So I think that there's a fascinating insight here. I think with these words, the Torah is telling us something fundamental. What the Torah is telling us is that when are you a Me'or? When are you a Katan or a Gadol? It's in relationship to what you do for others. The sun does more, the moon does less. Therefore, one is called a Katan, one is called a Gadol. But it's a Me'or because it lights up other things. It lights up, it provides something for others. The stars, they have a function, but they're too far away to really provide us light. They're too far away to really be functional in that respect. And therefore, they're Kochavim. The value of a person, the value of an object, is not just in the intrinsic value of the object, but it's what that object does for other people. When we talk about godless, when we talk about greatness, the Me'or Hagadol is something that gives everything to others. That's what godless is. That's what greatness is. Greatness is a focus not on myself, but a focus on others. Breishis bara Elokim. That first letter, Beis. Torah starts with a Beis to remind us that the whole world is about Beis. It's about Twoness. It's Breishis bara Elokim. Elokim starts with an Aleph. Aleph is oneness. But it's Breishis bara Elokim. The oneness created Twoness. And that's really what this world is about. What my life has to be about. It has to be about others. And when it's about others, when my focus and my function and my entire reason for existence is to give and to render to others, it's at that moment that I become Ma'oros Hagadolim. I become the big Ma'oros. I become a Gadol. I become a giant. I become something great. As we're setting the foundations for our year and for our lives, that's a very important foundation to set. The concept of Beis, of two, the concept of Twoness, the concept of worrying about other people. We should have many other people in our lives, that we have the opportunity to share ourselves with them. They should be our focus, and with that, we achieve greatness, and we create our own internal world, our own world of beauty, joy, and happiness. Everyone should have an amazing, beautiful Shabbos.